Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to this series of me building the London resort in Planet Coaster 2. Welcome back. I feel like I need to get my apologies out of the way early doors. I think it was the end of last year when I last uploaded. I've been on a bit of a roll and managed to get quite a few episodes out. And then I'll be honest, life completely took over in the new year. Lots of new things going on in my life, and it just meant that I had a little bit less time to spend building in Planet Coaster 2. But yeah, you'll be glad to know that I never really stopped. I've been working on this in the background as and when I can. And yeah, I feel a bit bad because I've just looked back at my last video and I've realised actually how much I've got done since then. So I feel like I deserve it to you guys to do this video and give you a bit of an update on what I've done and what new areas I've built and the changes I've made to the stuff that I'd built previously. So yeah, as you can tell probably straight away, I've expanded the park quite a bit. So you remember in the first couple of episodes I worked on this kind of base camp area here to the left, and then we moved on to the kingdom, the kind of medieval area of the park. Spent quite a bit of time working on that, getting that right. And then at the end of last year I worked on the studios part of the park, a very kind of universal inspired backlot area. That's kind of where we left it. And then, I've been back into this area and updated a few things. In particular, this kind of studio tour element. I accidentally deleted that at one stage, and then I did the same again not long ago. So that's been rebuilt several times now. But yeah, this kind of area stayed the same. So yeah, this area on the right, I went back to the concept art, and this at different stages had different IPs associated to it. I'm going to kind of class it as an extension of the studio area and almost like call it on location. So these are probably going to be themed to different locations. This certainly on the right is probably going to be around the world in 80 days kind of vibes. That's what I get from the concept art. And then this rapid ride, I'm not quite sure yet what theme I'm going to go with, but I've kind of built the ride and the station for this. But yeah, I'm just thinking at the minute about how to tie all this together. But yeah, kind of happy with this rapid ride and the kind of layout and how this kind of works. And then I've got quite a lot of work to do on this transport ride. It's going to have a show building, and then the outside is probably going to have some recognisable landmarks. That's certainly what's on the original concept art for the park. I'm kind of holding off that because I don't really want to build that yet. And then this middle lake area, it's going to be very universal, Amity inspired, boardwalk kind of feel. I started putting some restaurants in and building this kind of pier, and I need to think of a facade for this show building. And then this ride again is lifted from the concept art. Weirdly, it looks quite UFO themed. I think that's probably to do with the genre of film, rather than it being sci-fi themed. So I'm going to do probably something quite a homage to the 1950s sci-fi. So it's going to have probably a 1950s American-style building facade housing the station and some of the track. And then the external and the main drop is probably going to have some kind of UFO element to it. But yeah, again, happy with how this has kind of worked out in terms of a compact coaster in this corner. I just need to do a bit of tinkering with the layout. But yeah, that kind of works. And then yeah, going back into the studio, it's just a case of tidying up. As I say, I've got a love-hate relationship with this building and this ride. I've lost it twice, rebuilt it twice. This is my most recent iteration. So I'm currently working through some detailing and landscaping for the main kind of hangar buildings. And then, as you can see on the right, I am adding a kind of exterior set. So the track will go through the studio buildings and then come out into this external bit. The original concept art had this as kind of vehicles. I think there was like Top Gun. There were like jets and things on the concept art. Rather than doing that, I think it'd be cooler to do kind of like this physical set that you go through, and then I can add in some special effects and things. And yeah, I thought it'd be a good way of introducing the Western theme here. I had a bit of fun with this, and I've got some good ideas about how I'm going to expand this around the back of the sound stages there. Kind of happy with this. And then what else have I done? I've just started tidying up some of the detailing. Added some road markings to the New York set. Nothing else has really changed here. I have altered the getaway coaster. So I've added another section in. So originally it came around and then went straight back into the brake run. I've just added this extra bit just to add a bit more interest and to do something over the path there. Ignore these there. That's me being incredibly lazy and trying to use fence panels. It's just been a case of just adding a few bits and I still need to go back and detail this up. And then the main entrance building, I've kind of added more structure to it. Started adding some staff rooms and some back of house areas. Just trying to add a bit of realism. And then obviously the coloured glass panels has really helped now with being able to put the Union Jack on again, all as per kind of concept art. I think it's cool this because you get a really good idea of how the park would have looked in reality. It's quite a unique entrance. I like that you're already kind of in the park at this point. So you'd walk down this this kind of bridge down to this entrance portal, and you can see coasters on both sides of the castle up front. I'm kind of happy with this. I've got a lot more detailing to do, in terms of a structure, it's working out well. And then if we just go back to base camp, so this is again using like the aquatic theme, and again a lot of this lifted from concept art. Just some minor alterations to kind of existing bits in here. I'm going back in now. We've got some of these subsequent updates. I'm being able to go back and add more detail. Things like just this small like concession unit. The most recent updates have been great, and it's quite nice to go back and start refining what I've already done. And then this restaurant building, I've just gone back and started adding some more details. Obviously, we've now got the in-game restaurants. So yeah, I've just been, for example, going back in and starting to add the interior. Other than that, it's just been a case of a bit of landscaping, and let me just see if there's any other changes. I've just started planning out this souvenir shop, and then this middle bit, I've finally got around to actually starting to add some structure to the bridges. And then this middle area, I've kind of created like a rest point. I quite like how it's got good sight lines in, towards the to the coaster on that side, and then the castle on the other side. I like how that's worked. And then we've got the monorail, which is a new addition. We'll talk about that shortly. I like how this middle island's kind of working now. It's got a nice feel to it. And then turning to the kingdom. Obviously, there's a couple of episodes dedicated to progress on this. So I won't go into too much detail, but the biggest changes here at the back. Originally, there was a water coaster with an internal, with the show building and an indoor section. I've deleted all that now, and I'm in the process of changing it. I've added this log flume, because I actually want to use the water coaster elsewhere. I've seen some concept art, and I feel like the water coaster will be better used down here, between base camp and the kingdom. I've added this log flume in, again, pretty much as per original concept art for the park. Nice, simple layout, and I'm kind of in the process of adapting the terrain to suit. It's got a couple of drops, and then it's going to have a bit of an indoor section before the lift, and then it kind of drops down, and I've brought it out to interact with the path on this side. Lots of landscaping to do. I've built the station. I've had to change the queue line. Originally that went inside, but now I'm going to keep this all exterior. And that kind of leads down to this new station building, which is really it's simple, but I'm really happy with how this turned out. And then just added this little kiosk unit and the dryer as well, and just trying to keep it all themed with this kind of medieval area. Happy with that as well. Like I said, I just need to think what to do with these buildings now, especially this big one. One of them's going to be a food court, but the bigger one probably needs some kind of indoor ride. I need to think about that. So I'm kind of open to suggestions with that one. Everything else is just a case of going back in and adding more detail over time. But because I kind of spent so much time on this, it's this area, it's just finishing touches really. Happy with how this is looking. So let's talk about kind of the completely new bits to the park. So starting down here to the left of the entrance, this kind of sci-fi area. This has been a pretty consistent feature of all the concept art for the London Resort. At one point, very much associated with Star Trek, and then as the IPs were removed, it still kind of kept this whole spaceport vibe. I've kind of rolled with that theme. A lot of concept art, this kind of circular building. Lots of different designs, the whole circular thing were pretty common, and a lot of the concept art had a couple of coasters in this area, one in the middle, and then one that kind of looped around the top of the structure. I did try that with doing 2 coasters, and I couldn't really get it to work, and the whole coaster on top of the circular structure looks a bit contrived. So I've ended up with putting the monorail on here. I realised I needed some kind of transport ride to connect the 2 corners of the park. So yeah, by putting the monorail on top of here, it kind of works. I'm kind of happy with how that's turned out. It kind of loops around and then heads off to the opposite corner of the park. And then I'm just sticking with one single launch coaster for this area. It kind of keeps the look and feel of the original concept art. And then I'm going to fill this with kind of theming and some shops, and and I like how it kind of all interacts with structure, and then heads out and goes around the drop tower. I want to kind of add something to the top of here to make it recognizable, like a planet or something. And then this is pretty much going to be it for this area. Like I say, a lot more work to do on the theming and finishing this structure off. And then down here we've just got kind of picnic area. I've added some of the back of house access from the loop road, and then I need to work up kind of what goes on outside of this area in terms of like landscaping and shops and facilities. And then I don't know, I'd seen a comment on another video about someone asking about like the nets for the coasters. I found out just making your own using glass panels kind of looks all right. So I'm kind of rolling with that at the minute. I think it kind of works. So in terms of rides, there's not really much more to do in this area. So if you follow where the new monorail's going, up to the opposite corner of the park. Now, I think this probably had an IP associated to it once upon a time. But then, in a lot of the more recent concept art before the project was cancelled, it kind of looked like a generic children's kind of storybook land. Like fairy tales and nursery rhymes sort of thing. There'll be 2 kind of show buildings at the back, one of them with some kind of indoor ride. And then, this area is going to be like populated with flat rides and playground equipment. There's a lot of like oversized like toadstools and things on the artwork. So that's why I've started adding some of these. And then one feature of the concept art as well was there's like a big pirate ship, and I've kind of taken that and thought I'd add some kind of like splash park. I'm kind of happy with how this has worked out as like a standalone feature. I want to add more theming in to make it a little bit more in keeping with what I've got planned for this area. It's kind of looking good. I like the colours of this, and it's a very kind of believable thing. You can imagine it during the summer being absolutely heaving. I'm just trying to think of ways of how to begin to sort of blend all the areas now. And then just turning back towards the kingdom, this is the like transition area. So this is where I've added the monorail station. In a lot of the concept art, there was going to be a big amphitheatre here, and I thought I can lose that for my version and add this monorail station in. And it works well in this kind of transition area. And then that's a monorail working back towards Spaceport. And then I guess that view gives a bit of a glimpse of what else I've been working on. And this is a kind of half-finished resort area now. A couple of months ago, I took a break on building on the park and started to look at the areas I'd already mapped out for like car parks and the hotel and all the other resort areas. And this is what I've built so far. And again, this is all, a lot of it's lifted directly from the planning documents that were submitted for the London resort. So yeah, this trench I already had. There would have been, in reality, a high-speed train link that would have gone under the park and then through the other side and under the Thames. So yeah, this, again, all based on real planning documents. I've started to add the train line in and some of the tunnel detail. And then, starting to map out all the roads, so the access for the coaches down into the coach station, and then the other roads for the car parking. So yeah, again, this building lifted off the planning documents. And I'm kind of happy with how I've got all these roads to work. It all kind of, it makes sense in my head, but And then there's like an overflow coach park, and then the main road back out of the resort, and then this is the main boulevard, so the main sculpture, again lifted from the planning documents, and the two hotels. So I've started looking at the landscaping, the London Resort logo there, and how this kind of works. So this road here would have been the guest drop-off for the hotel, and then this main raised walkway, you'd walk under this sculpture, and then this kind of leads you onto the two hotels on either side. So there would have been like restaurants and shops at kind of ground level here. So you can kind of imagine how this would have looked in reality. And the idea being that the guests would have then made their way down here to this first building. And this would have had a lot more restaurants and things in it. But this actually would have served as the gateway to the second park as well. So to the left here, that's where the second gate would have been built several years after completion of the first park. So this building would have served as like a bit of a gateway between the two. So all visitors, regardless, would have come through here. And then the walkway down here to the right. Down here to the right is this obviously leads now down to the big Union Jack Pavilion. But like I said before, I like how you're already kind of in the park at this point. It feels that you're not really approaching it, you're already kind of in there. So and then like we were before, this is the main entrance into the first park. And then turning back to the hotel, this kind of land in between, I've added the staff roads, but this particular plot of land here, this is where the water park is going to be built. So again, on the planning documents, that's where the water park would be. This is all back of house, so access roads. This building here is what I think will have been like the staff centre. So deliveries would have been report here, staff, training, management and things would all been housed in that building there. So the roads beyond there are kind of like back of house and for goods in. But this big plot of land here is going to be the water park at some point. I just need to get around to it, and then I need to decide what I do here, whether I build the entrance, for example, to the second park, and what we do over here, which is where the ferry port on the Thames would have been, to bring guests down, downriver by boat. That's kind of a good overview of what I've done. I kind of stopped on the resort just because I'm conscious of how I'm building over two machines. One of my machines is starting to struggle, especially when I've got the park open. So I thought I'd rather get the park done and then come back to the resort if everything goes well. This particular machine I'm on at the minute is coping fine. So yeah, hopefully I can get the full project finished. That's the end goal. But yeah, like I've said a few times now, I think it's interesting doing this project and seeing how it would have been in reality. There's some really nice, unique features to this park, and I kind of like how it would have worked as a resort. I mean, yeah, I've got to go back and these areas here I've got to work on, and there's a lot of areas I need to fill in. But yeah, I wanted to get these two new lands and on opposite corners in, to kind of see how what space I'd left. And I'm sure some of you guys won't like the fact that I kind of jump around and I get bored easily. But I promise I will come back to this resort area. But I think it's coming along nicely. And as we Northerners say, I'm pretty chuffed with how this is looking. So yeah, hopefully you guys agree. I'd love to get your thoughts down below in the comment section. And I'll see you in the next video.